Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 14th episode of the Exploring Antinatalism Podcast, a podcast all about the subject of antinatalism created by anti-natalists. My name is Amanda Oldfan-Sukanik, also known as Forever Wolf Films on YouTube, and today I'm speaking with the remarkably talented anti-natalist one-man musical force of nature, Creep.
For my insanity, there was one time where I wanted to be happily married with kids. But actually, I explained myself exactly why I put all the darkness into a innocent head. The baby would be better off never exist instead. Why the fuck would I have a child in this generation? So it can of my ugly voice face and imagination. Or the baby would be fed to spit to taste in this lactation. Why give love to a baby? Why do that to a baby?
So hey there, Creep. Welcome to Exploring Antinatalism. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate picking me up in the intro.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
That's
Yeah. So can you start us off by just telling me a little bit about yourself and what you do, the work that you do?
Sure, yeah. Well, I'm Charles, that's my normal name, but yeah, I'm Creep, which is my music, and it's basically, I guess, in a nutshell, the long haul of it is basically about being 100% myself. I guess a lot of my life, because I've generally always just been a different person. Obviously, I have a few tattoos now and I look a bit different, but I always have just been a different person, even when I look like a basic bitch. And it's sort of about that. Like, some people might look or treat me like I'm a creep. Well, I'm like creep. People have called me a creep and all that kind of stuff. So it's sort of about just turning that into a positive thing and turning and sort of stepping back from it and going, oh, wait a minute, me being different isn't exactly a bad thing. Maybe there is a positive side to my negative and so on. And my music's basically about that, turning my negative, more thoughts and emotions and beliefs into something positive, or at least something expressive, and trying to better myself and my music and make something that means something. So that's generally, in a kind of nutshell. Obviously, not every song will be a masterpiece or so on. Maybe some might even be a freestyle. It just is what it is. It is what it is. I'm 100% myself. I don't believe in being 50% fake, 50% real. I'm either 100% or otherwise. Either if I pick the other path, I'll pick just 100% fake, and I'll just get money and hustle and just fuck girls every week or some shit, and then get a crappy job and just get as much money as possible. But I pick the other thing. And obviously, I'm facing the consequences for positive and for negative. And that's me, and that's essentially my music.
Awesome. Yeah, so you took the Creep name as a way of basically like embracing this negative, turning it into a positive.
I'm a fucking creep. It's fucking good. Like, I look fucking good. And music is shit. I'm not shit. I'm not dumb. I'm not fucking ignorant. I'm not ugly. I look fucking. I ain't fucking dumb. I have something to say, and it's sort of about that, and like self-confidence and self-love and shit, and not letting them win and get the best of you type shit. It's about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
Hence, songs like where I talk about anti-natalism, talk about things people don't have the balls to talk about, or don't even think or fathom it, and so on. Like,
right.
For example, like, I didn't even have a clue what anti-natalism was. Like, I was just someone that I think a lot. That came to my conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
I've been diagnosed with dyspraxia, so it might be a reason to it. I guess it's a gift and a curse. Like, I kind of daydream a lot. So the positive is I actually think a lot about things, but the negative is like, okay, I want to do my music now, or play my video games, or chill, but I'm too busy thinking about too much stuff, or thinking about things I'm not in control of. Shit. Yeah, it's like that type of shit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So how did exactly, like, as a music project, Creep begin? When did you start writing music for this project?
Well, I've always made different music. I didn't know whether the name Creep came to me kind of later on. I've been making music since, well, I've been technically writing my own songs since 12, and it's obviously changed a lot since the age of 12. I'm 22 now, so it's literally 10 years ago. I've always liked metal music. I've always liked rap as the genre itself, and I've had quite a confliction with the culture of it, because obviously a lot of it's quite toxic and stupid, and all this stuff. But over time, I grow to appreciate certain things about the culture and certain things about, and so on. When I decided to want creep, I think I used to have an old friend that I fell out with now, but we'll kind of just think of my name because I couldn't think of a name before. It was just Charlie Harris or Charles Harris because I didn't have a name for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously at college, I was even like a social outcast then, even though at the college everyone was a socially geek outcast, but they kind of chose to try and take themselves seriously and be up themselves when we're all just as shit as each other type shit. Yeah, like the bully becomes the bully in a sense, but not if you get what I mean. Yeah. It's not as in they'll bully me, but they have that kind of mentality.
Right.
So like. Yeah, like, well, for example, actually, it happened right when I first became, like, Creep officially as the name. I decided to do it, I think it was right after there was a moment in my life where I slit my throat.
Yeah.
And, like, I attempted suicide and stuff. Yeah, one day I tried to walk in front of the train tracks, and then, like, one fucking prick fucking rang the police, and then it was like that unlucky, like the police literally stopped the train tracks type shit. So
shit.
That happened, and then like a few days later, then like I slit my throat. And as people think, it's not as easy as you think. Like technically, not even mentally or emotionally, just literally, as in I slit my throat. Apparently, it was 3 centimeters deep. Like that's fairly.
Holy shit! Yeah. And that's really deep.
I was aiming for the jugular. I was doing my research about type shit, and it's still, for better or for worse, I don't know just yet. I still didn't do it. It was the same time that I was going through that, and I was kind of in like a very emotional, kind of desperate state. When I was younger, like I naturally did kind of like would self-harm for attention because like I want to be loved and all that kind of stuff. And I guess I found out like the most brutalist way or the hard way that no one, at least for me, like no one gives a shit about you at all, and like they wouldn't not care if you were here or not type shit. It's apart from my mum, that's literally the only reason I'm here today. That's lyrics on my arm. The only reason I put up with this life is for my mum, which lyrics like my favourite songs I tell her from. And it's around then I was around those kind of emotions, and you know, I was starting to have quite a nihilistic, narcissistic outlook type shit, and then that's where I discovered, oh wait, why am I trying to get love from other people type shit? Why am I trying to like please other people? And then it still took a couple of years to really like have self-respect and learn to love myself and stop fronting for like pussy or anything or friends or any of it.
Yeah.
And then that's like the name where it kind of came, like that's when Creep became Creep, basically.
Yeah. But how incredible you took all of it and you put it into your art. And I mean, I one of the things I like so much about your work is it's so candid. You're so genuine and candid about the experiences that you had in your life.
What's candid mean, by the way?
It's just very honest, very upfront. Yeah. You know, there's no pretense.
Pure. Yeah, I just literally say it how it is, and I try to make it as digestible and understandable as it is, especially if I'm going to talk about a complicated subject. Why would I try to sugarcoat and try to be pretentious and overcoat it and shit? Yeah. Some people might see it as cringy and that, but at the same time, I'm aware of that. No. But I don't that shit. I'm doing it. That's how it fucking is, sort of shit.
Yeah.
I prefer that to some stunty front shit because that's them trying to stunt for fucking social acceptance and love.
Right.
Yeah. Like, people. So that's
I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. But it's hard. It would be hard for me to call it cringe in any kind of way. Because first of all, the production value is really great. I mean, the editing is great. I mean, everything is just very professional and very powerful. Yeah,
I appreciate it. For someone that does everything myself,
yeah,
I've learned everything myself. I produce all my beats. I edit all of my videos. And I obviously do my own lyrics and recording and stuff in my bedroom. This is my studio. And I use a sheet over my head. I'm slumming as fuck. So I think for my circumstance, because music is primarily production value and crisp shit, but obviously a lot of people just go to studios or have people make beats for them, which makes it then sound cleaner, so that it's kind of like cheating in a way. So yeah, it's not to the standard it needs to be for like to get on channels and to properly promote it, as in, because that's all they care about type shit.
Right.
But I know my production value isn't even that bad, and I know every single other part of my music and its meaning is better than this other trash that's out there. So yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just briefly, like, what have been your musical influences in your life, man? I know you talked a little bit about metal and rap, but what do you like listening to?
Well, when I was younger, it was a lot of Metallica, like the classics, Iron Maiden, Slipknot, Korn. Yeah, they're amazing. They inspire me a lot with the song side, like the composition, like a variety of structure, like different parts of the song, verses, and all these different things, melody, rhythm, and metal is very good and complex and diverse with that spectrum.
Yeah.
And I guess lyrically, like rap side, I think big inspirations have been actually quite recent artists I discovered, but the guy, it sounds generic as fuck, but I'm a massive stan, so the person that got me into rap in the first place is Eminem.
Yeah.
Obviously, not all of his songs are masterpieces, but when they are fucking top tier shit. No one can shit on Eminem, especially when he's at his best. He's obviously like a fucking legend and shit, and amazing. And I guess other rappers, there's a guy, he's been blowing up kind of, he's doing very well quite recently, but not as well as he should deserve, called Maxo Cream.
Okay.
And he seems like a genuine rapper. I think he's like literally in like is it the Crips and the Bloods? The Crips and the Blue guys, is it? In American gangster?
I think so. Yeah.
I think he's cripping as I think they said. Yeah, like he's genuine as well. He speaks like real shit.
Yeah.
And either he's like a perfect actor, which I really don't believe it, or he's just speaking that real shit. Obviously, I like that real shit.
Yeah.
I love Joyner Lucas. A bit of his new stuff has been a little bit questionable or a bit cringy-ish, but and Young M.A. Do you know Young M.A.?
No, I don't. No.
She's like a massive. She's like really big. I think I can't remember exactly where she's from in America, but she's like a lesbian rapper, but she's just
okay.
She has the best combination of both. Like she has that kind of like swag, drip kind of party type shit, but it's not in a crap way. She's good at that, but she's also good at doing that real shit. And she's sort of like me. Like she says, like she makes like bars like about like she lost her brother, and she'll just say that in every song if she wants to. And I'm kind of like that in my music. Yeah. Well, if I want to say I'm only here for my mum, I only live for my mum in every song, that's still better than like, oh fuck your bitch, you got drip in every song. So I have,
because it's real. Yeah.
If I want to fucking say it every time I want, if I want to say I slit my wrists in every song, then fuck you, I'm gonna say it type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Eminem, because I was listening, especially to some of your older tracks. I could like really hear the Marshall Mathers influence. So yeah, I'm glad I was right, actually. Yeah.
Double syllable rhymes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, at the expense of possibly making myself look incredibly uncool, but for the purpose of some of our audience that might not know these terms, like what is trap and what is degent? If I'm pronouncing that right.
All right. Well, trap is I guess for anyone that doesn't know, it's practically what hip hop is, or at least at the moment, it's modern hip hop. When you hear the that's sort of like trying to and the bass going boom boom or whatever. That's trap. Like a lot of pop music you hear, or even I think even practically R&B is trap now. When I was doing it, it was at least only big in America. Now it's a worldwide, ridiculously big thing, and I have a feeling it's a chance it could die like any minute now. But it's been going since like 2012 at least, and it's as strong as ever, at least at the moment. But it may take the dubstep route, but so far it's lasted way longer than dubstep. I don't know for sure just yet. Degent, or how it's supposed to be technically pronounced is gent, is a subgenre of progressive metal, and the band that originated it is a band called Meshuggah, and
sure, okay,
yeah, like It's primarily a kind of percussive. It's technically a technique you do on the guitar where you kind of palm mute it, but in a specific way, so it has a more of a scratch sound. Okay. And it's primarily complicated technical music, which is the inspiration from prog rock or metal, and has a lot of thing called a 8-string or 7-string or a 9-string guitar where they have an electric guitar, but they add certain treble-ish kind of bass notes. So it's like really low, and then they'll do like really low notes and really high notes type of thing. Hence, like when I do like my bit where I do that in the music electronically, there's really low 808 and then really high 808, and that's the inspiration of that. And I'm trying to mix it with trap music, which is electronic type stuff. So yeah, and there's also another thing called thul, which is an underground genre of djent, which is which started from one of my favorite djent band called Vildhjata or Vildhjata, and yeah, no, they're a big inspiration as well.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, that's a great explanation. Yeah.
Yeah, I try my best.
It's great. So moving a little bit into the subject of antinatalism, how did you first learn about antinatalism? When did you first hear the word, for the first time, and how long have you been an antinatalist?
I guess I'll do it as in my story of like, when I believed in it and what happened and when it came to, or where I am now with my thoughts of it or whatever. I guess, well, because like I said before, because of my dyspraxia, just the way I think, I daydream a lot. I think about a lot of crap in general, whether it would be productive or not. It's what I do. I think, obviously, I'd think about the subject on and off for a few years. When I was younger and in my teens, like 15, 13, and so on, I did like the idea of having children. Like, obviously, everyone does, like bringing in a new life and trying to give your knowledge to it and give it a fulfilling life and having something to love and nurture, and obviously it's a nice picture and that. But I'd really think about it, and then well, obviously now there's multiple reasons, because obviously it's quite a massive subject. So there's multiple reasons where I can be like, fair enough, but I believe this type of thing. Yeah. I think the first thing that really convinced me to be like, okay, I think I don't want to have this. Then when I decided that I would try my best to get a vasectomy, but for some reason in the UK, they really, really frowned upon it. You're a certain age, even people in their 30s with 4 kids can find it very hard to get a vasectomy, which obviously is a little bit ridiculous. Absolutely. In my opinion. I think I guess the first reason that made me think of it is, well, I guess I'll just say my reason now. I think it's basically the same thing. It's basically life is like a gamble, Yeah. There's a lot that can go right and there's a lot can go wrong, and people can be very successful and achieve and do what they want, and some people unfortunately don't. And obviously, because we can't calculate and we don't know all the specifics of emotions and our, let's say, soul, as you say, or whatever you want to think of it. Yeah. We can't measure our emotions. We can't ever fully know, or at least not at the moment, or maybe ever, how someone really feels about something, because someone can have the hardest life ever, and for them it will feel worth it, and someone can have the easiest going in life, and for them, unfortunately, unluckily, it's not worth it. And for some people, they're able to get through it. Some people aren't. And I think I kind of realized that, and realized the potential at risk and how unstable life can potentially be, and how we're not in control of everything, and things that can go wrong. And I've been someone that's obviously negative and dark, and like when I was younger, I'd look at dark things, and obviously it's not competition, but I haven't had the best life nor the worst life, but I've had a life I haven't enjoyed, and I've had stuff that's affected me type of thing. And I guess like the general thing that convinces me the most is just the gamble of it. Yeah. And I don't want to take that responsibility. And even if I ever did and would want to be a parent, there's always the option of adoption. And to me, wait. That was the thing that stopped. That's the thing that made me decide. It was when you create a life, you're creating the responsibility. You're making it real. So anything that happens to the kid, technically it's technically your fault because you made it happen. Whereas if you didn't create it, then everything is the world's fault because it already existed in the first place, and whatever it would turn into, or the child would turn into, or experience, would be the world's fault because you didn't create it, but you planted the seed, essentially. You planted the seed to grow the tree. And if someone's going to cut down that tree and the tree's like, ow, you're fucking cutting me down. Ow, don't stop, or whatever, you know. Yeah, that was the main thing that made me decide, oh, wait a minute, yeah, I don't want to do this, and I want a vasectomy. And I tried my best to convince the doctors. I literally paid for a private doctor £200 for a consultation, and he still denied it, and it was very annoying, and I was willing to obviously pay £800 on top of it for the procedure. I think we spoke, or we debated it in a sense, or I tried to convince him for at least an hour to perhaps 2. I think it was maybe at least an hour, hour and a half. And he was basically saying stuff like, oh, I went, like, he was a guy, apparently he had a bit of fame on the news, where he was on the news once just because he did it to a 24-year-old or a 25-year-old. And it was apparently that, because English culture is so petty and stupid, and like react over little petty things. Yeah. Obviously, something as little as that. Oh, you gave a 25-year-old a vasectomy, how dare you? And then obviously, he tried to say it in a professional way, but he was basically saying, I don't want to ruin my reputation of my job just to give you a vasectomy because I'll be on the news again, or I might lose my reputation of my job and stuff. I think that was around the time I made the Antinatalist song. I can't remember if I made it before that I had that consultation, or after, or maybe both. I think I may have started it and then finished it. Funnily and annoyingly enough, I remember I made the song and finished it, and then my mic broke and I lost it all. So the one I made was me to completely remake the song all over again.
Oh my god!
I luckily kind of just knew practically what it was, but it was it's long. It's just the annoyance of being a musician.
I once almost lost an entire movie. So I can I was after months and months and months of working on it. So I could, it's a nightmare. Yeah. I love that song. I've probably listened to it, probably about 1 million times now. I think it's amazing.
100 views. Perhaps they might all be you, and
I think they might be. I did rip it, so I've watched it sort of like,
I guess I'll let you know, like, so far, like, you're my favorite fan, just because, like, I saw your shit.
No.
It's like your content, like, is so fucking crazy. I was like, whoa, what the fuck is this?
Thank you very much. Like, thank you.
And I'm like, gotta have my fans like this. Fuck basic boring bitches fans. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Well, no, I was. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've showed you off to like a couple of my friends and shit. Like, yeah, it's got to have these fans now, getting that creep call. That's how it's done.
Oh, awesome! That's awesome. Yeah. I really, really appreciate that tremendously. Yeah, no, I kind of went crazy when I saw that video because like the song is amazing. The video itself is like amazing too. The editing in it, like the use of The Man Who Laughs, which is one of my favorite, great movie, one of my all-time favorite movies.
Seeing it, yeah.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, that was it was the first. Like when you get softwares and buy better music software.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first song I made on Final Cut Pro when I first bought it.
Sure.
Obviously, the video's instantly a lot better production value because I'm using a better software. Whereas before I was sticking to iMovie because, like I said, I'm slumming and I'm broke, and obviously I like tattoos. So at uni, I was basically just fucking spending all my shit on tattoos, and obviously shit costs a lot of money. But I guess my logic with that is I'll eventually run out of room, and then for the rest of my life I'll be spent throwing all of it into my music. So I'm just doing it in that logic. But
okay, that makes sense.
I'm closer to the stage where I'm just gonna start throwing all my money into my music. So hopefully when I'm back again, my production value be a lot cleaner and better, and I'll finally get the fucking cult and the fan base I deserve. But let's wait and see.
Well, I would not. It would not surprise me if you know. So I hope I'll be hoping.
Well, like my music's different, and obviously a lot of people are just stupid. You can't even fathom the complexities of it, and obviously people don't like shit that's different and all that shit, and they don't like shit that's low quality, low production value. So like all that shit turns off a large, and I'm broke to even fucking promote it and get it out there. So yeah, that's sort of basically why I've got no views and shit.
Well, what have you been doing to try to promote your music?
Well, because I'm broke, all I have is like Instagram doing the fucking you seen Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad. I'm just doing the Jimmy McGill hustle, you know. So my music's real as it is, and because I don't care or I'm not passionate about promotion and I hate social media, I'm gonna do that hustle. I don't give a fuck. I'll comment on any bullshit on anyone's shit. Some of it I've actually kind of liked, some of it so far, some of it here and there, but obviously a lot of it's shit. And I'm just like, oh yo, bro, you got to do your hustle, you got to do your thing. Everyone's fucking doing it.
Yeah,
a lot of people are doing it, but again, I'm just fucking telling the same people how it is, and if they don't like it, then that's their problem, not mine.
Right. I mean, did you get much of a reaction from anti-natalists? Did you reach out to the anti-natalist community at all?
I think it's just me and you that know what anti-natalist is.
Okay, well that'll change. That's definitely going to change.
I think that's, I guess, my opinion on, I guess, maybe the way anti-natalism is advertised to people. I think the first thing is the word itself. Like, I had to Google. I was like, is there a word for someone that doesn't want to have kids? When I was trying to think of a title for the song, and I was like, oh, okay, it's an actual thing. I thought I was literally the only one that believed it.
Oh, interesting.
Usually,
okay.
Because usually people that want kids, they'll just be like the normal person. Let's say they'll just be like, oh, I can't bother just to pone the bum, which they are. I agree with their points as well, but they'll just be like, they can't be bothered yet. But when obviously they get older, and we all have that biological urge, because obviously it's in our nature to procreate. Then, because they ain't really thought about it, they'll just go with their feelings. They'll be like, oh, I can't be fucked with that. And then when they get older, they're like, oh, I want to have kids now, or it just happened. They'll just went with it. Yeah, and it'd be like that. No one had the opinion I had, that, like what I said and what obviously you believe in, what was in the point of creating it in the first place, and the responsibility of the that person's feelings and who they turn into and so on.
Yeah. So let me just so you wrote the song, and then in trying to title it, that's how you discovered the word anti-natalism?
Yeah.
Anti-natalist? Wow, okay.
The song Why Give Life to a Baby, that was sort of my just dark, brutal opinion, because like I'm a kind of guy where literally like everyone, it sounds pretentious, but just everyone around me they don't, not as in an emo way, but they don't listen to me, they don't understand me, and nor do they care. And I think differently to them, and they think narrow-mindedly. Right. So every time I talk and that's why I try to be as particular with when I talk as possible, because people don't listen. So I try to be as elaborate as I can, so people can open up their mind and then have a broader perspective on the world and everything around it, and obviously have the right to come to their conclusions, because I believe everyone has the right to do and be what they want. If someone does want to have a kid, then that's fully, like, they have all the right to do it. Just like if I want a tattoo or whatever, or if I want to slap a booty, I have every right to do it, type shit. As long as it's not breaking the law and you're not hurting anyone, do whatever the fuck you want, be whatever the fuck you be, and think whatever the fuck you want to think and believe. I can tell I'm getting a bit rambly, and I've lost my...
It's okay. You're fine. Well, I'd love to ask you about Why Give Life to a Baby, because that's my other favorite track of yours, and I sorry. One reason I really responded to your work in general, and perhaps even this song specifically, is even though, I mean, obviously you are exploring some very dark subject matter, which I also love, there is this, it's a great sense of compassion in your lyrics, and in that song specifically. There's such compassion in those lyrics. I mean, just the simple statement of, why do that to a baby? That's what the song ends on. Yeah, and it's just so powerful. So, I mean, can you tell me a little bit about when you wrote that song?
Well, yeah, I guess that kind of, is the word thesis, is that right? That kind of opinion, or that I guess with me it's like because I am myself, and I do what I believe in, and what I believe is right and wrong, or what I care about, what I don't care about. That means necessarily I'm not. I guess I'm kind of like in between. I still can't tell. Well, I think I'm figuring it out, but it's like I can't sometimes tell if I want to be a good person or a bad person. And for me, I think when I speak like about fucked shit, or I say something bad, but then I may say something with maybe a moral purpose, perhaps. Yeah. I guess it's because for me it's like a mixture. I think with me, my philosophy on being moral or benevolent or evil or whatever you want to call it is I think for me it's like if I don't trust someone and don't know someone, or if I kind of know I don't like someone and I know like there's not enough, like say there's someone that has a lot of good to them but then they shoot up a school or something, or they rob a bank and do something really really bad, I kind of don't give a shit about their backstory. I don't have compassion for that person because everyone has a positive and negative to them. Everyone has a good side. No one is perfect, but no one is pure evil either.
Sure.
So obviously, when I dislike someone for myself and my own opinion, or dislike something, or don't believe in something, or I don't care about something, I just truly do or don't. So because I'm trying to be myself. I'm not trying to I won't have a wife and kid just because everyone else wants me to have a wife and kid and like front that and look that's the right thing to do. I do what makes me feel good. So like my look with people is like I may sometimes be a bad person and do bad things, but if I don't care about it, I don't care about it. And it's after that, and as long as I'm not breaking any laws, doing anything so morally wrong, then it's just up to someone else's opinion. It's their problem, they can deal with it type shit. So I guess that's why my music lyrically can be quite conflicting, or maybe in a sense hypocritical, because it's like obviously I'm growing and evolving all the time, trying to figure out myself and become the best person I'd be, since there's no limit to improvement. So it's sort of confusing because like I have a pure, it's like things, it's like what I say in my music is real. Like when I say like some really fucked shit, like I want to rape this bitch, leave her bleeding in a ditch, and that sometimes in my darkest times, like it gets my dick hard to think of some fuck shit, and sometimes I have so much hate for someone or something that obviously I'm trying to control, and obviously trying to, but I just do have that genuine hate. Like, you know, there's people where they'll be like, oh, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I'm the type of person where like I would wish that on my worst enemy. People, like I've slit my own throat and survived, and obviously that was a hard thing to go through, but the people I hate the most in my life, I would like them to feel that, because I genuinely hate them that much.
Sure. Okay, I understand that.
It's not like a moral thing, but at the same time, I'm trying to be who I want to be. So I'm not trying to be necessarily morally right and good, bad or good. So that's sort of the conflict of that. But with antinatalism, if I become something terrible, if I ruin my own life, at least I only ruin my own life, not a fucking other. And because I am the way I am and believe the way I am, I believe, well, I don't want to have a kid, and it's probably for the best I don't have a kid, and blah, 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 and so on. But yeah, I guess that's why my music, tonally, like morally, can be a bit conflicted and up and down. Like one song I'll say, like, I'll do an XX, like a rapper diss track, and be like, oh, why are you beating this bitch? And another song I'll be like, I want to fucking stab a bitch and fucking grope a bitch. So and then I'm sort of technically, in a sense, or in a social convention sense, I'm being like a hypocrite in a way.
Well, no, I think you do a really interesting job of kind of holding that tension of the opposites. I not enough people work through or deal with their internal darkness very well. I mean, it's, you know, and that's been an important thing in my art too. It's like, you know, I've got a lot of awful things going on in my head, and art is the place to put that. But the thing that I respect is that, like, you also have this very high understanding of imposition and risk, and you wouldn't put all that darkness into a new mind, you know, and that really does come through really beautifully, I think.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I guess it's like, I think, well, the difference between me and, let's say, give an example, I did an XX diss track, and it's this rapper, and he was, and the reason I was pissed, and I wrote it drunk, so I couldn't be fucked to actually care too much about a diss track. But yeah, he was someone that had the bad thoughts, but he gave in to his instinct, and he actually did it. The thing I'm trying to do in my music and give out is, you can think of most fucked up shit, you can think about raping a kid or the worst things you can think of, but as long as it's in your head, it's fantasy, and you're not doing anything wrong, it's okay, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you do something, then that's when you start to be scum, and the worse you do, the worse you are. So that's what I'm doing my music. I'm trying to, like, this is me, this is how I feel, and this is what I think, but I'm going to try everything I can to not do it. Sometimes primarily just to not go to prison, ruin my life, but sometimes to do it just because it feels fucking wrong, and I feel disgusted with myself afterwards, and I feel guilty, like when I portray the people I love and so on, and I hate myself, and what I figured out kind of very recently is like people may sort of think with their instincts first and not think with their brain less, and people may think with their brain first and their emotions left, like, oh no, I need to hold back on my emotions because blah blah blah, and they're too much in their head. And then there's people think too much of their like instinct, and then they do stupid shit. And I've sort of recently figured out that it needs to be both. They need to work together. They need to be just as value type shit. Like, I think that's what I'm trying to sort of figure out. Because sometimes when something feels wrong, you need to speak up, or if it just feels bad, you need to do something about it. But you need to think logically about kind of like, what is this that I'm feeling? Why am I feeling it? What am I need to do about it? Is there something I can do about it? And so on. Yeah.
But I think what makes you're basically saying also on top of that it sort of ends with you, and that's like the anti-natalist part of that.
For me,
like,
it's about
not imposing it onto somebody else is like, that's a missing step, I think, in so many people's evaluation.
I'm not fucking rapist type shit. Yeah. It's like that. Yeah, because obviously, everyone needs to get over themselves because we're all human and sort of along with each other, and like whether you like it or not, because we all share the same world.
Yeah.
Not really get on with it. Stop being a racist piece of shit. Stop being a stupid, ignorant, blah blah blah. Yeah. And up yourself. Stop being like, oh, you're a Chad, you're a snob, you're a this and that. And I'm like that myself because British culture is heavily like that. Extremely. Yeah. It's like a fucking, it's like a high school, like with social system. It's like that everywhere. And in England, it's not like that to be popular. It's just like that to not be completely shunned by society. And I'm sick of it, so I'm just like, no, fuck you. I'm advocating that. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want, and people will sometimes like I fixate on things like a chap nearly started on me, and was talking like aggressive to me and like to try and like fucking fight me because I literally would piss in a bush. Like that's how petty they are. So now I'm sort of getting to the point where, okay, if someone's going to be that petty, then I need to be over petty back, and I need to stick up for myself. Oh, you want to fight me over me having a piss in the bush? Then like, okay, then you fucking. And I feel like I need to be like that. No one's perfect. Everyone needs to get the fuck over themselves, just like me. Like someone that just because you have a job and you're making loads of money doesn't necessarily make you better than someone that's in the NHS making less money. Being a nut, some shit, just as much as it doesn't make you less of a person if you're just you got depression, you don't want to fucking do shit with your life, just as much as it doesn't make you different if you choose to be whatever the fuck you want.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, what did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Actually, I keep forgetting points.
No, it's good. It's good stuff. It's great stuff. The original video for that song, Why Give Life to a Baby, was taken off of YouTube, if I remember correctly. Why did that happen? Did you ever find out exactly the reasons why?
Well, it has a lot of real gore and gratuitous shit. It said something, I think it said something shit like it promotes self-harm. I'm actually thinking, because at the time I had a slit throat and scars, and I was kind of like flexing it as in like, fuck you, I'm gonna do my thing. Because if I've only covered up these scars because I don't want my mum to see it, because obviously it's not fair for her to see that. That's literally the only reason. Otherwise I would be flexing it and fucking rubbing that in everyone's face if I wanted to live without my mum, which I don't. But and they said they took it down because it promotes self-harm, and so I'm thinking they literally did it because I literally just had scars on me, I think, maybe. And I'm like, what the fuck, that's fucked up. And that made me think, what, so if someone's a YouTuber or wants to be a YouTuber and have like slits and shit, they can't be it because they'll just maybe take their videos down. But yeah, I don't know. That's a problem with social media at the moment, and also platforms and this shit. They keep, that's what my music's about. Like, they keep trying to shy away and closet all the negative, and that's what all people do. They'll be like, oh no, I'll never think of my daughter. I'll never think of anyone wanting to fuck my daughter ever. No, I'll never think of and for me, it's like, no, we will always be there. There will always be people in us instinctive biological never want to kill people, want to steal shit, want to do bad things, and we can't fucking shun that shit away.
Right.
Obviously, it's just going to build up and it'll be a dice roll, and someone might just flip out one day and shoot up a school like people do and shit like that. So just like with antinatalism and generally everything, we need to stop shying away all the shit and trying to hide what is real and what really happens. So we're like oblivious and naive and stupid and immature to that side, and we're more like, and when we are like that, we're more weak and helpless to it because we don't have any wisdom, we don't know how to prepare, for anything, because we don't
Yeah.
have anything in the potential. Everything and the media's trying to shun it away all the time, and it's fucking stupid. And I'm also a nihilist, I think, as well, because I don't believe I will actually ever make a difference. I'm just here for my mum's sake, and I'm just expressing myself, because what else am I going to do? I have a wife and kids and shit. But, like, yeah, that's what I believe, at least with that subject. People need to fucking stop shunning away, and themselves, they need to stop shunning away their dark thoughts and shit.
Yeah,
there's always something positive to learn from everything. There's a positive and negative to everything. There's a famous quote from this, like, there's one quote that got me into philosophy, and it's kind of changed my outlook on the life a lot. I don't remember exactly it. I think it's by a guy called Kieran Zolzengard or some shit. He's German. I'll probably get it wrong, but essentially the quote is not. This is not it exactly.
Is it Kierkegaard?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, so Zoran Kierkegaard.
I think so.
Yeah, and the quote, it's on a few YouTube pages, and it's like, the quote is essentially like, kill yourself, don't kill yourself, you regret it. Get married, don't have to get married, you regret both. Do this and it just carries on, like, do this and do that, you regret. There's a positive and negative to everything in life, but then there's like a positive to get out of everything in life. So it's something negative, I believe, and I believe obviously parents and people should know about the negative. For an example, if to prevent a child from ever being, the thing is, I won't use an extreme example, because I think that's a problem with antinatalism. People use too extreme examples, and in normal people, let's say, they just see it as in, oh, this person's just a depressed, negative person, and obviously, it's their denial, they're shunning that away. I'll give a more genuine example. If you want to prevent, let's say, your kid from bullying, let's go with bullying, that's a common one, or getting picked on or something. That's something that generally happens to a lot of people. People need to, like, know that can happen. So, and I believe, and obviously, and you need to keep that negativity in mind. So you'd be like, okay, I want my kid to be in a school so he doesn't get bullied, and maybe be around positive people, so maybe he would thrive more, and so on. And then maybe they would think with that, okay, let's really study the schools. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if this really have a research. Let's try and read see if the school seems genuine, or trying to put on a fake smile, seem they're right or not. Do your research and stuff, if that makes sense. And I believe a lot of parents don't have that intellectual knowledge or wisdom at all, because obviously there'll be parents that will just be overly strict to kids, and then they'll either be passive, submissive little bitches, or they'll be rebellious, maybe more like me or something, and then they end up doing what they didn't want them to do and be who they didn't want them to be in the first place. And there's still so many naive, kind of stupid people that make a lot of mistakes, and even in general, in the whole spectrum of it, like, the human race does make the same old mistakes over and over again. We can't learn everything, obviously, but I feel parents really do not learn enough, and I think a big part of it is that they don't think in the negative or try to have wisdom and strength over it. As in, like, and that's why, like, when I say, like, you need to have, like, the motion of, I can't remember my own lyrics exactly, like, the mental stability is strong as a soldier, otherwise the best thing to look at in life's a barrel. It's kind of like, simply like that. You need to know the worst things in life, but still, if you want to have a child, you need to know the worst things in life, and at least be aware of it, but then still have whatever belief you want to make the kid thrive, and prepare that for the kid, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and I believe I don't have the capability of stopping a lot of that stuff, and I believe a lot of people and parents never think about this stuff, and never think even in this way. And then the result of that is quite a dice roll. And then obviously there's a lot of cunts in the world, there's a lot of idiots in the world, and a lot of unpredictable. I believe in quality over quantity, not that let's just have a kid because we feel like it. I believe people need to know a lot of things, have a lot of wisdom before you have a kid, and they should have quite a few reasons to why they want a kid. Like, why do you want a kid? What's because you feel like it? Are you really thinking about this and thinking it through? Yeah. You just got knocked up. Or maybe abortion, maybe a better considerable problem. Maybe, like, you know what I mean? It's stuff like that, and that's. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of the points you're making are extremely important. I mean, and I think, yeah, what you're saying is essentially is, yeah, people need to be able to model reality
Yeah,
accurately before
that's
they
what
bring a
that's
new
what it is.
being into the world.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's not negativity. I'm not being
no,
negative.
it's
I'm saying
reality.
things that I experience and things that
Right,
actually happen. It's just
right.
being realistic. Because yeah, there's over positivity where people think too positively. Like for example, I'll go to college and it's like, oh, I'm so excited. College is gonna be amazing. I'm being over positive, and when it's the reality of it, it's a bit crap. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh crap. It's not that amazing. Or I'll do it again. I'll go to university. Oh no, university. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna fuck these fit Asian girls 9 out of 10s, and I'll do it. I'll fuck these fit Asian girls 9 out of 10. And for me personally, the way it makes me feel, it's not all that for me. And that's how I feel in general. A lot of things. It's not that like I have the worst life ever, and every single day isn't the worst thing ever. Even though some days have been in certain parts of my life.
yeah,
But it's just for me, I feel the bad bits and I feel that hard. And then when I feel the supposed good bits everyone says is amazing, I don't really enjoy it as much as everyone else does.
yeah, yeah,
And with that logic, obviously, people value different things and enjoy different things.
yeah.
I may prefer playing a video game than going to a bar and talking shit to no one
Sure.
and drunk. Or if I do go to a bar, I might primarily just want to go for sex because I'm quite a narcissistic, or perhaps even have some form of a sex addiction and so on and blah blah blah. But it's like you can't make people. That's the problem. You can't make people. If something feels wrong to them, it'll always feel wrong to them. But that's why people need to be themselves. They can't be pressured into having a kid, and society shouldn't be. Everyone should have wife and kids. That's the normal way it's supposed to be. If you don't do that, then you're like, oh, you're doing worse in life, and blah blah blah. It shouldn't be. It should be everyone needs to do whatever the fuck they want and do what they want. Because for example, if I got pressured so much to having kids and I try to lie to myself, type of thing, I try to convince myself, and it feels wrong. Like what I said, feel into your feelings and think with this and think also with this, but both. Yeah. If I tried to like use my brain and like, oh, I don't want to look like a fucking, and I was insecure. Luckily, I'm not, and I'm just myself. But I was like, oh, I don't want people to think I'm doing shit in life because I'm not married yet and I don't have a kid and shit. And then that mentality, and then I have a wife and kid, and then for them, the way it makes them feel won't be what they want. So then when they have it, it's a bad environment, it's an unhappy family, and it's potentially a very potentially unstable and bad thing, and if that makes sense, and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, no, I respect the respect that you have for people's, individuality and doing what they want to do. At the same time, I think like you are speaking a very important message about prevention, and I think you are saying a lot of things that could be very effective in that regard and are very different than nihilism in some respects. I mean, do you at all consider your work like an act of antinatalist activism or right to die activism? Do you have any interest in that?
It's more like because I believe I'm a nihilist and I believe the world really won't ever change and won't ever learn. But I'm just here for my mum. I don't enjoy life, and if my mum wasn't here, I literally wouldn't be here in an instant. But I'm here just for my mum because she has insane with bipolar, and she will never be able to fathom in a narrow-minded head that it probably. Obviously, I don't know for sure. My life might be amazing one day, but 10 years it hasn't. Type shit, and that would be for the best. So what was my point? What was the question again exactly?
Oh, it's okay. No, it just, do you at all consider what you do an act of either anti-natalist activism or right to die activism as well?
Yeah, it's like what I believe the world should be. It's like what I believe is wrong and right, and what I believe should be, and what I believe like should happen. Like I believe people should be less this and more this to make the world better type of shit. But because I'm a nihilist, I actually don't believe I'm ever going to make a difference. Anyone's going to change. But because I'm nihilist, it's just sort of because I'm trying to think of my feelings. When I try to do anything else in life, like I might have more fun doing something. But because I don't enjoy life that much, the enjoyment isn't worth all the effort. So I'm trying to do something that feels like it's meaningful, like with my music, but my brain doesn't actually think that's the case. But I'm just doing it because what the fuck else am I going to do? I have a wife and kids, no thanks.
Okay,
maybe a wife one day, maybe an adopted kid, but yeah. But that's kind of my logic with it.
Okay.
I've never wanted to get a car. I never cared too much about materialistic shit. I'm broke as fuck, minimum wage, and I feel like I'm already spoiled as it is. I got a catalogue of Netflix shows and shit. Yeah, I have a lot of video games and shit. I already have like materialistically everything I want. I already have most of the tattoos I want for like a lifetime. I don't.
Yeah.
I've luckily never gave a fuck about that shit, and I luckily am immune to embarrassment because my mum is severe bipolar, and she just embarrassed me so much to the point where I just got immune to it. If when I was 14, I say a girl looked cute in the street or in a cafe, she'd go up to that girl and be like, "You like Stewie does?" and all that shit.
Oh no.
She's like top tier. So like luckily like the positivity of that is like I luckily just don't give a shit about being embarrassed. I've been a loner, so I haven't necessarily ever had friends, so I don't care about trying to get friends. And I'm generally quite picky with people anyway, so I might just want to fuck instead or do what the fuck I want to do. And I've been brought up with art, video games, which is a form of art, and film and music and all that stuff. And I've been able to appreciate and experience that stuff like that can educate you and help you with the world and be therapeutic and a psychiatrist to you in a way as well. And music and film, like if a film makes you cry and shit, as cheesy it is, it makes you feel alive. And if that's the only thing that makes you cry and nothing else in real life does, then and because I'm a nihilist and I don't believe anything is the right way or the wrong way, if I feel more fulfillment in a video game and it feels more real than real life, then to me, then fuck it, I'm gonna do that. And that's I forgot what your question was in the first place, but that's
okay. It was
with people that have kids or people that are a bit ignorant-minded. I think when you experience something bad in life, no one will ever know how it makes you feel. So like to them, it's almost like a fantasy. Like if I say something extreme like rape or something, like I remember I'd say that to like the doctor. I was trying to convince them to get a vasectomy and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that really happens. And they'll have that kind of attitude, like, oh, that's that often. But I'll be like, yeah, but it's technically real. People are scared of like some fucking ghoul thing out of Insidious or some pale kid. And even if that happens in real life, you just kick the little kid in the face, fuck off.
That's one of the most insidious parts of human nature is putting the bad at arm's length, just pretending it's not real.
People get scared of a ghost film, but if there was a ghost in real life, it technically wouldn't even harm you that bad. What's it going to do? Fucking wiggle the fucking curtains? Oh, I'm going to die because the ghost is fucking going at my fucking door or whatever. When in real life, the scariest and darkest things are things that are real. Like, that actually, I think that was one thing that truly persuaded me a lot to be an antinatalism is when I my friend would tell me videos about the dark web and I'll maybe look at a few videos and shit and people will say very extreme shit that is real and has happened and probably does happen to real people, like sex slave shit and all this shit, and it's getting their legs surgically removed so they literally can't run away from like the groomers or what the fuck it is. You can just buy your kid like an Amazon fucking gift and shit to fuck in a fucking and keep it in a cellar and shit and all this fuck. Yeah, and it's like, people could be so creatively evil.
Yeah.
And people, because people ignore that, people aren't aware of it. And it's like, if I say like rape, I don't want to have a kid because I don't want it to be raped or something, and say like I'm being ridiculous, I'm technically not, because there's kids
not
that
at all
raped or something, and people people will think like that because they'll be like, oh no, I'm not gonna worry about that. I just can't think of it like that. But my question always be to people like that, like, okay, well, what happens if your kid does get bullied at school? What happens if your kid just isn't happy? What happens if your kid turns out to be a little piece of shit? And that's another big thing for me. I hate people in general, so my standards would be way too high for a kid. If my kid was a basic bitch, I'll literally be like, I've wasted 20 years of my life for just some basic bitch flicking from Instagram. Like, or some little fucking cringy TikTok kid.
But people never think of that. They don't think about the fact that they might not like their child.
You don't. It's the unknown. But then obviously they have the argument. It's the unknown, so it could be good and it could be worth it. So obviously we're not exactly completely in the right either, because no one is. But both sides of the coin are just as valid, and they both need to be just as known to everyone in the world. And everyone needs to know what the fuck antinatalism is, just like everyone needs to know what having a kid is, because we don't necessarily know. So not one's right over the other. They're both valid. So they both need to be known to everyone, so every individual can come to their own conclusion and think more like that, and then do what they really want. So maybe then when they are a parent, there's more of a chance of it them being good parents and intelligent parents and wise parents, because it's what they really wanted to do. They thought of every outcome and they prepared for every outcome, and they prepared themselves more as a person and shit like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally. So, so let me jump into one of the next question. So what has been the response to your music overall?
My music?
Yeah.
What does it mean, what my opinion or what people...
No, like what have people expressed to you about it? What's been the response, from people?
When I try to put it on channels, because everyone cares about high production value and fronting and trying to be cool like some fucking petty bitch, and my shit will be low production value and actually a bit different and a bit hard to understand, a lot of like, I will get a lot of people like, oh, this is trash, and it'll just usually just be shit people, and it'll like... Now, I'm open for criticism, but it's like, if you just say I'm shit, like, how am I supposed to improve upon that? You're just saying I'm shit. They're just trying to stop me and make me give up. That's all they're trying to say by that.
Yeah.
So obviously, I've had a lot of that. Basically, it's just a case of like, I always try and get on channels, and like all these channels get all these hundreds of songs sent to them, and I'd rather just pick shit that would clout, because obviously they want to have a business and make money.
Mm-hmm.
They'd rather do that than shit. They won't pick a song that's better, but it has low production value, so therefore the general public just see it as something shit. It's like a movie. If you see a movie or something else, it needs to be high budget. People won't take something seriously if it hasn't packaged seriously. If someone wants to eat a chocolate bar, they'll pay £5 to eat a Snickers when there's the off-brand Snickers right next to them, which is the exact same fucking thing, but because it's packaged differently, they're like, oh, I'm not going to do that, because they're so ignorant and narrow-minded. Yeah, like people... Yeah, they value things that are more materialistic than money, because, well, I guess the logic of that is you work hard for your money, so when you buy something expensive, it feels more of an reward or something, and then you naturally, instinctively value it more and shit. Yeah. Hence why people don't really care as much about Netflix and art now, because it's, like, more free and there's a lot of it and shit, or it's more, I don't know, given to you, in a sense. If it's technically free, you pay monthly for Netflix or whatever, but it's more... So it's hard to keep up with all of it. That has been my response so far. I think the only thing that's holding me back, but I'm not 100% sure yet, is just the production value. Okay. And obviously, and because I'm someone that learns everything myself, I'm not sure if it's my apparent lack of talent, or if you just need to buy all the best shit and have the cleanest shit. Because every time like I buy new shit to have cleaner production value, it's sort of just like it's instantly a bit better and cleaner and higher production value. Like this song I released, it's higher production value than like my other videos, because I'd use a better camera I spent more money on for a more HD quality picture than other stuff I've done. Right. And these Final Cut Pro, so when I do effects and that, it'd be a little bit better. So I think my philosophy is, it's literally just like it's just the Miller. That's all about, like, not the talent, and music's basically just like a flex thing, because that's why you get that. And obviously people do music to please other people, and they make shit that other people want to hear, so then it becomes that kind of trashy, because obviously the general person is shit and likes the shittest things for the shittest reasons. Music's old, especially music. It's not the case for a film and even video games. It can be a lot of deep, meaningful, great stuff, but music is a lot of my girlfriend broke up with me shallow shit, and I get that pay, I get fucking rich shit. So yeah, obviously when I'm actually trying, and also when you try for more, the fall is hardest type of thing. I'm trying to make the best music I can, most evolved lyrically and meaningful type of music, and instrumentally I'm trying to expand, like, be as diverse with genres and tones and expression and all that shit. When you aim really high, it's harder for something to be perfect, and it won't be. So there's more shit to criticize and push it down for type shit. Whereas if I aim for, I want to make, for that bit I'm gonna pay. That's just easy, because I either can just make a really easy beat and sample someone else's song and put hi-hats over it, and then just freestyle a bunch of shit, because it's literally easier to freestyle what's instinctively registered. Like, it's easier to freestyle about sex because it's in my mind all the time, because we all want to fuck. So it just comes to you straight away, like, a lot easier. So it's easier to sound more talented in something as shallow as shit as that, because it's so easy. It's relatable to everyone, and it's in our instinctive nature. And that's the same with love songs. We could say like, oh, she broke my heart and I was left on the road. "See waiting at the bus stop, range," or whatever, and then there'll be some idiot out there like, "I can't really relate to. I remember I was at the bus stop. I remember when I felt left abandoned," and it's like that, and the music's so shallow because music's a mixture of emotion and expression, and it's a mixture of talent and intellectual as well, and obviously they expand on one or the other, and obviously because people are stupid a lot of the time they would relate more to the feeling side, so if they keep it stupid and open for interpretation, it's more likely everyone will like it and get something for it and relate to it. And sometimes it's fine to take that approach with music and do open for interpretation lyrics, and popular music is not always necessarily bad, or the way it's structured is not always bad.
Sure, of course.
I like to try and take the best of both. I like technical music and simpler music. I like what I like. I try to be open-minded, and I try to like pop, but when I hate a lot of it, if there'll be like one pop song I like, I'll be like, why? Like, yeah, don't know where the fuck it's going. I keep my point.
Okay. Do you or have you ever performed your music live? Do you have an interest in moving in that direction or not?
I want to, but it's again money, and it's tricky.
Yeah.
And I'm alone. I don't know anyone, so it's tricky. But I really do want to. The only times I've ever done it was when I had to do it for college, and I was and it was really just the same time I just made Creep a thing, and then I just I'm just gonna do my music.
What did you...
fucking criteria bullshit or whatever.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Forgive me.
That's fine. Go on, what you saying.
What did you study when you went to college?
Music.
Music. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was video production
music performance, or it says music and music performance course.
Sure.
It was BTEC type shit. Did that. Tried out university and tried to learn. I think I just unluckily went to a crappy course and didn't really learn anything, and that's where I found out about dyspraxia, because I took a test like, do I have a learning disability, so I could get some like tuition and help, and then they diagnosed me with moderate dyspraxia, and then and they sucked with the fucking tuition, and then it didn't hurry up in time, and then I was like, well, fuck this, I'm done. I failed the course. And now I'm going to work, and I'm not working at the moment, but I try to work, and it's really not the life for me. I don't like it, but at the same time I try and work at least a couple of days a week, try and get some money, because music, unfortunately, is the fucking money.
Yeah.
And when I get the money, I'll hopefully be performing. I think how it is like, I remember I rang someone up, and it's not like, I can't get a gig. It's like, no, you have to set up everything about the venue yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know like fucking 50 fucking people that know that have fucking all this equipment, all this shit and promotion. So I imagine it'll be a mixture of maybe getting some sort of like what models or actors will do, like we'll have someone to try and help them get gigs, or a fucking
producer,
or a modeling show, or an acting part in a show. I think I don't know, because I don't know, I'm a loner, I don't know anything about the industry, but I think it's something to do with that. And I imagine it will probably cost an investment, so I might as well not. Things like that I'm not thinking about until at least I have something in my hand paper-wise to because I believe my prediction is it's just going to cost money. Like, I would like to go to a music studio and really clean up my songs, and go to a professional videographer and get everything professionally done. And I would like to maybe one day get my song on something like World Star Hip Hop, or a big reputable channel to promote my music and so on. But it's all the paper. You need that fucking paper. For example, on World Star Hip Hop, you need to pay £4,000 to promote your song on it. No, $4,000 to promote.
Holy shit! And
depending on the channel's success and popularity, the price can vary and so on. It's just it's money. It's not. And our music is at the moment, and most people music eat up and think that's talented. It's not. It's just money. The things talented is the producers that made the beats, and the videographers that did all the crazy effects and all the storytelling in a video or whatever. They're the talented people, not the person going, I thought that bit, I get the best. Oh, get a fucking cat. Oh, I'll go pussy fucking and shit. That's anyone can do that.
Yeah. Are you working on an album? Is that something that you have an interest in doing, or do you prefer to do like standalone tracks?
I think I just do standalone because people don't fucking buy it. I think if I ever were to do an album or a mixtape, it would probably just to be for a collection. If there was ever like any cult diehard fans that want to own a physical, because there's people that want to do shit like that. They're a fan of something, they want to own a physical DVD and shit. So I feel like I'd only do it for that kind of sake, because no one gives a fuck about albums anymore. So like, albums probably wouldn't necessarily be a structured album where the song needs to continue over to this song type of shit. It would just probably be more of a mixtape collection type of strategy.
Yeah.
And also because I'm low production value and shit, if I was to maybe do something like that, and if I was, for an album you need to have like a strong cult in the first place, or a fucking fan base, and if I wanted to like maybe do it properly, or if I wanted to, I wouldn't want to remake any of my songs, for example, unless like I could get that perfect production value, make that song completely perfect, and then have that perfect video to back it up. So I guess like I don't have the money and I don't have the circumstantial capability of having everything perfect at the moment. But I'm gonna do it anyway, because I'm not gonna wait 10 years for something that could or not happen. I'm truly slumming, I'm truly broke, but I'm not gonna let something that's imperfect stop me being who I want to be and make the music I want and try and improve on it and shit.
Right.
I'm not gonna fucking not make music for 10 years just because like, oh, this fucking hi-hat isn't the crisp and these vocals aren't perfect.
Yeah.
So petty. I couldn't give a fuck. Suck my dick if you don't like it that much. Not you personally, but people that
but yeah, you can always get lost in that search for perfection, and at some point, it's like
I'm starting to realize, like, because sometimes I can spend 8 hours fixating on something so small. Like, one example is I did a drunk freestyle, and there's a part in the song where I go, like, I accidentally like a weird snort noise, and I was like, oh fuck, and I started feeling really insecure about that, but I already dropped it, and I was like, oh shit. But then I'd listen to like some really successful, like, do you know of Bjork?
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard her do it and that's in one of her release songs. I heard a little noise, and I was like, what the fuck? All right, maybe I'm just being a bit too insecure about it. And I'll hear a new 6ix9ine song, because I like trashy music as well, unfortunately. At least I'm aware that it's trashy as shit, and obviously you don't have to take music seriously and shit, but all the time. If it's it could be a nice drinking song to bop to, as long as you're aware of the shitness and you're not naive to it. In his song, he does it quite a few times, I think, and that song has 200 million views and blah blah.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you fixate, you're maybe a little bit too insecure about something. Like maybe you're just waste. Obviously, the clock's ticking. Maybe you're wasting too much time with this shit. Maybe I shouldn't waste fucking 5 hours applying my makeup. Or I shouldn't waste like 10 hours in the gym trying to get the perfectly defined abs and shit. Maybe like fuck it. Maybe I'm gonna just fucking do what I'm gonna do anyway. Because maybe I shouldn't have to rewrite this bar. Because what I'm saying in the first place is already more than what everyone else fucking doing anyway. Maybe I don't have to think that every tattoo needs to mean something. Because my fucking designs look better than everyone else's shitty stars or shitty tribal or shitty roses tattoos anyway. And that's like my kind of approach on me and music. As long as I'm always trying to work to improve, I'll always improve. So fuck it.
Yeah, I hear you.
As long as I don't cap myself, I will never be capped. Like eventually, when I get that money, like it'll always be a tiny bit better. Maybe it not be perfect and the best thing ever, but it'll always be better. I'll always eventually buy that extra camera fucking equipment, or that extra fucking physical compressor, that extra musical plug-in or compressor or EQer to make it that little bit crisper, or I may learn an extra scale or an extra time signature or whatever the fuck it is, and I'll get better. And fuck the haters, eat mashed potatoes.
Yeah, no, well said. Okay, so this next question's a bit of a long one. So I've said for a long time that I think the subject of anti-natalism, both as a subject and as an aesthetic of sorts, has all this potential to influence different forms of what I guess you could call extreme music, for lack of a better way to say it, stuff like metal, black metal. And I do kind of feel like slowly that's starting to happen, where it's slowly starting to, be a part of more music, be a subject that's a part of more music. Do you have any thoughts on that, on anti-natalism's potential to influence art in the future?
Okay, and in an artistic sense. Okay. Well, for me, like I said, I didn't even know any of this shit. So if you want to send me links, I always want to check out new music and
sure, yeah.
Like, because obviously I'm passionate about music. I want to find something new that excites me, or I could learn off, or whatever. Yeah. I'll come to new music, and that's what I'm trying to do. Now, with me, it's no one's talking about any of the shit I'm thinking about and I want to feel, because either they're too pussy to or they're too oblivious to. And I don't want to. What's the point? What's the point of me trying to be the next Metallica when there's already a Metallica? What's the point of me making a song about sex, or at least for every song, when there's already a quadrillion songs about sex? Already, I wouldn't be surprised if there was literally a trillion songs for love songs. There's definitely at least billions. At least.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So my logic is like, what's the point in me doing that? What the hell do I have to do that? So with me, it's like I'll try and be me, but I'm trying to like stand in my own kind of zone. And so lyrically and even soundscape wise, I'm always trying to like make my own sound and have my own point of opinion and say the things people don't say. So I guess if there is shit like that popping up, then that's cool. People that I want to hear things about different shit.
Yeah. I'll send you some links.
Yeah, do that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's like, it's not a ton of people, but it's like every year it's more and more slowly people are exploring.
There may be something to do with, I guess, maybe population. And when something's still small, they'll be a little bit big in it. But that's still something, what I guess my opinion on it is people should be more like that, because, again, they can make, just like you can improve your mind and be more aware and wise of things, you can maybe make something good at it. Maybe you can make it sound funny with it. Like, for example, Ricky Gervais, he's practically anti-natalist. He's a comedian. He turns it into humor, and then he's sending this message out. He's sending a message out, and he's doing it in a fun, entertaining way. So maybe people will laugh and be like, "Oh, wait a minute, he's making a valid point as well," and type shit. And we can help each other understand each other as well, and get the fuck along with each other, and be all chill, be all good. So I guess my opinion on it is that sounds good. I don't know anything about it, but I want to know more about it, and I want more people to know about shit like that.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll definitely send you some links. There's some really great stuff. So you actually released a brand new track yesterday at the time of this recording. It's June 1st right now. It's called Slit. I loved it. Can you tell me anything about this track?
The song I made, it took about 6 months because I was going through a little bit of a phase where I was being very insecure and particular about everything. Like, obviously, music can go up and down. Obviously, sometimes you can your brain can fuck with you and try and question type of shit. I was going through that kind of phase. So it took me 6 months to do this song. Also, the song This Is It, that also took me about 4 or 5 months to do. And that's why I've tried to... I'm obviously trying to make the best songs I can, but I'm recently figuring out I need to hurry the fuck up as well. I can't spend a whole year making 2 songs.
Yeah.
It's fucking ticking. I need to hurry the fuck up. So I'm trying my best to be productive, but make the best of my time, but still make the music better and so on. And to not over-fixate on things and spend 8 hours on something I shouldn't and just fucking get on with it, if that makes sense.
Right.
But Slit, the process of it, at least, I was in that kind of mindset. So, like, the way I was saying everything, it took me like 8 hours to even come up with the melody because I was just so insecure about it and shit. And I was trying to look at every YouTube tutorial I could to try and learn how to mix it at the best of my capability and shit. And that's why the song ended up as like really something I'm really proud of and really like, because I literally, even the most insecure me, like kind of like liked it. So even my worst mood and I'm the insecure side can still be like, no, this fucking bops. The lyrics are on it. The beat is on it. It's original. It's still expressive. It's ticking all the boxes I want to do with like good lyrics, good lyrical flow, not cringy, not a boomer and outdated, something new, something interesting, something emotional, compassionate, something meaningful, and all those things. Yeah. I was luckily ticking all the boxes I wanted and shit. Sometimes in music you can't tick all the boxes. Sometimes you have to push one more. Maybe a beat will be simpler, but the lyrics will be more in depth, or vice versa. The lyrics will be simpler, and the experience of the song will be more in depth, like melodically, rhythmically, and structurally, and so on. But yeah, so like beat wise, it's like a mixture of, as I said before, gen or full music.
Yeah.
It's like a mixture of that because I'm a big fan of that type of music, and I'm a big fan of trap, and I like to combine shit. And I've always liked trap and metal since I like the metal as the instrumental part, and I like the rap as the storytelling part in a sense. And that's why I make a lot of dark metal-y, rappy kind of shit or whatever. The song lyrically, like what the song is about like kind of, like I said, with all this front shit, there's I was always been a gothic person, and back in my day, being a goth was like a geeky, frowned upon thing. And now goth is kind of not a goth anymore. It's kind of like they're trying to like pose and be edgy, and it's like musically, as in song wise and lyrically, and what it means to be maybe a different person and stand on your own 2 feet, stick up for what you want to do, and not be a part of what everyone else wants you to be, like a social convention type of thing. Like the new wave of metal, let's say, or the new wave of trap is. Wait 1 second, my door's squeaking.
Sure.
Metal or rap is like trap metal, is what they call it, is what the new metal is and what the new kids like. And it obviously the actual metal and actual goth is obviously starting to become a thing of the past. And obviously these kids are just a bunch of stunting, posy little bitches. Or because I'm someone that, like, I'm quite an envious person in a way sometimes. Like when someone is a spoiled little shit and they're ungrateful, or when someone is like, their ex didn't text them back and they're like, oh fucking hell, my life's terrible. Even though obviously I'm a bit of a hypocrite, I was like that at one point. But like people make songs like that, and people have like stunt composers like that, and then that obviously gets more valued than actual real genuine passion and an actual real hardship. So that's sort of what the first part of the song is about. It's about that. So like all these kids want is pathetic aesthetic shit, same old songs, and then they just end up forgetting it and all that kind of shit. And then it sort of slowly turns into like me talking about spoiled little shit sort of thing, people that don't try and people that aren't to their full potential and give up type shit. And then I'll turn it to like I've gone through some actual fuck shit. Like people try and stunt acting like oh slip wrist, blah blah shit. But if I actually slip my wrist, they're like, oh, what the fuck you doing? They're feeling cringy because they're just all about the stunt. Where I'm like the person that's actually gone through some fuck shit. I've actually been a goth. I've actually been discriminated, not just because I'm a goth, just because I am who I am and I'm different. And people to this day still don't have a problem with it, to the point where the jobs I even have aren't stable because people want to professionally get me fucking fired because they just don't like me, and so on. And so it kind of, I talk about like kids being ungrateful and I'm going through some fuck shit and you're not. As in like, I wake up to my bipolar mum fucking crying. You wake up to stable parents and then you are still whining. My mum ends up in the hospital multiple times a year, which has happened sometimes in the past. Your little slut won't text you back and your anxiety's brought you to tears. I'm basically like, I'm saying like, you're a fucking, the song's basically saying like, you're an emotional pussy, you're a little stunting bitch. You're not like actually fuck like me. Stop fucking trying to like stunt some fucking shit to be cool and shit. Like, and trying to fucking flex when you don't know what it's actually like to actually feel fucked up, actually slit your wrist, actually feel fuck shit. And then it goes like the chorus like slit, and that's like the chorus like, you don't know what it's like to feel blood run down your wrist, to see all the meat and yellow fat. No, this ain't no movie shit type of thing. It's in real life. If you see real gore, it's not how it's in the movies type of thing. Right. And obviously me saying that is, I guess, one way of proving my knowledge of it, since when I slit my throat and my arms, I'd see me fucking, it looks like a fucking butcher shop and shit. Like shit, like you'll see some yellow bits of fats and that. Obviously a bit of detail into to make, you know, to help the listener imagine more of something realistic and you know, stuff like that, as in a book when you explain something in more detail and more real, more tangible, more oh fucking hell, that's what it's really like. And then it goes to the chorus, and then the second part of the song where it switches is like the part where I basically, I guess in a way, prove that by saying or start opening up like some of the really fucked, essentially controversial lyrics in my head. Like I'll say bars like, I'll relate to the kids that shoot up the schools, might take some nice lives, will also take the fools, ain't one of a kind, or the ain't jewels type of shit. Like me saying no one's special. So I'm saying like I relate to someone that shoots up a school because I get why they do it. Because if you shoot up a row of people, yes, you're killing some nice people, but you will also kill some cunts. So, so I'm not gonna do it myself because I don't feel I have the right to fucking justify my own opinions on others or what type shit. But I hate people, and some people would be better off not here type of shit, or not existing at all. Sure. Hence why, like, and I just say it how it is, in my opinion of that, and fuck what they feel, like, fuck what they think. And then the second part of the song is like, this isn't a front, this is like my real problem. I'm real music. I've been here before other similar, because what's happened is slightly similar artists they didn't exactly copy me. And obviously, I was kind of emo and gothic, and it'll always kind of be a thing. People will always be kind of depressed. And obviously, a new wave came of emo rap or goth rap. But it's still at the same time, I was here first. I dropped my song in 2016. I have like it's cringy as fuck, but I have a concert of when I was like 15 and shit in 2012, winning some competition and shit, and I'm screaming over rap beats and that. So it's sort of like basically like I guess essentially real gothic or real emotion or real like hard shit. It's been undershunned because it's less relatable to she won't take me back. Oh no, yeah, bitch, type shit. And I guess like my song is kind of like my envious, narcissistic, like angry, nihilistic response to like that. And also at the same time kind of opening up a bit to like myself. And also in the video, like it's half of me when I don't have a tattoo and half of me when I have my face tats.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah,
I was sort of it wasn't all like fairly like not everything was planned out, but it was sort of I was just getting my tattoos at the same time I was going to start recording the video. So I was like, oh, I could maybe do something with this and make that complement the meaning of the song as well, or I could work with this and make it just something interesting for the video for variety. And halfway through the song, we're just a little kind of crazy shit like and like the build to the next song. Because I wasn't saying anything lyrically, there was going to originally be lyrics then, but like I just couldn't make it fit because I pump up the tempo and shit. I just couldn't make it work, so I just made it some kind of like weird. I just wanted to do it like as build up, an emotional build up to the next part of the song. So I decided to do that instead, like a dramatic build up, since it sounds cinematic and dark and shit. But then, for the visuals, I decided to kind of like, what I did was like, you know, when you see like the spras for a second, you see some like weird, colourful sprat thing.
Yeah.
They're actual words that say something. So like for that bit, I did like, I was trying to like, it's kind of like words, like words that would like people have said to me, but because I'm sort of like, I only think of me, and because I have a kind of treat to be treated kind of attitude. It's sort of like I'm saying like, oh, you ugly piece of shit, you should do this and do that, as a kind of symbolic type shit. So I decided to kind of fuck with that and maybe try and just make as much depth and symbolism and maybe try and make a few layers as well. But obviously it's like with me, oh, you put ugly for a second, that makes it really deep and meaningful because you put like an ugly guy, the colours that represent sadness and blah blah blah. Like I'm not gonna take it that far, like because
right.
In a graveyard, if I wanted to be that pretentious, I could be like, oh yeah, the graveyard represents the death of the old me and the birth of the, and I could say
right
like that.
It wasn't heavy-handed. Yeah.
The case was I just lived right next to a graveyard that looks pretty, and I was like, okay, I'll do a video here.
Sure.
Yeah, I try to make actual meaning. That's the thing. I don't try to make pretentious, gibberish meaning.
Right.
I make actual meaning, and more of that symbolism, undertone meaning could be more something that I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
So I think
that comes through very well.
Yeah.
So you also set another premiere to happen on the 30th of next month on your YouTube channel. So it's another new song that's gonna drop next month. I don't want you to have to reveal too much, but what can you tell me about this next track that's coming up?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not like leaving it mystery. I'm just trying to kind of like drop it throughout the year so it feels a bit.
Yeah. I like that.
That's the only reason I'm doing it. Because if you drop like 30 songs at once, no one's going to listen to 30 songs at once.
That's not smart.
Whereas you do like, I don't know, throughout the year, it'll feel more like, oh, there's a new song there's another new song, and it'll feel more consistent and
something to look forward to.
Yeah, that's the only reason I do it. The song's called This Is It, and that song is about me basically being trapped in the town I am for the rest of my life, like my belief in that. And me talking about stuff like how unstable minimum wage jobs can be, and what it's like to kind of be slumming and working off jobs and being someone like me where like people hate you so much where they literally want to get you fired, and me talking about how even when they do treat me with respect and I do get respect at work, I like working isn't for me, like it makes me depressed type of shit. And So it's like the song's mainly about that, and then a little bit of my philosophical hate for chavvy people and slummy kind of people trying to fuck with me type of shit. And then the chorus is basically like, yeah, I'm still a creep, I'm still lurking in the gutters, trapped in this fucking town around petty little fuckers. No chance to escape, bottling up with hate. I'm a rot in this state for the rest of my days. This is it. And then that's like the chorus. Yeah, okay. So a little bit of kind of like, I have all this anger and fucked thoughts, and I'm just going to have to try to put up with it because I'm just stuck here in this tough shit. And that's essentially what that song's about. And,
awesome. Okay, looking forward to that.
The only thing I don't like about the song is like it's a little bit draggy. Maybe you took away one of the choruses, but obviously not everyone's song's perfect. But the reason it's so long is because I'm trying to practice more being in depth about what I'm talking about, so it makes sense and it's more explanatory, and that's what that song is. It's better lyrically than Slit, but as a song as a whole, I slightly prefer Slit.
Okay.
Kind of like or whatever. But obviously not as in the song shit. Every song has something different to value from it.
Yeah, the thumbnail is highly intriguing. I'm looking forward to finding out what that's about. Yeah.
Well, because of the video visually, it was finally I recorded the second half of the Slit song. That was the same night I recorded the This Is It song, because it was literally like the day after it was going to be locked down. So I was like, all right, should we hurry up and fucking do these videos while we can? And then at the moment we're still in lockdown, but we're just gonna be real rebellious and just do a fucking video anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be doing another video soon.
Okay.
Wednesday.
Cool. Well, that new track will be out by the time this goes up, so that'll be basically go check that out. Yeah.
It's a bit more visually kind of boring, and it's 6 minutes long. So I basically tried my best to like put as much visual effects and make it look as kind of like rappy and high budget as possible, like doing the visual effects you see in modern rap videos or modern music videos. And it's
that's exciting.
Yeah, that's why you're seeing like a weird fucking tentacle come out my mouth.
And I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
okay.
Fun.
What do you most hope to achieve with Creep? And your work as a whole? What do you?
At this rate, I'm literally mostly just doing it for the sake of like the music for me. Yeah. So when I have a bad day, I can like have my song to listen to, and I guess also that's the primary reason. And then I guess the reason for like wanting a fan base, I guess, is just to try and find people out there that would maybe genuinely love me for me. Genuinely love my music for the way it is, and then maybe it could be someone I actually genuinely like, and then I can maybe help them, and it's better than nothing. It's something.
Yeah. Or
even someone I hate and despise, I guess hopefully I can at least help them maybe improve, or maybe at least have a better taste in music. So nothing.
Yeah.
And just try to grow it as much as I can, but obviously because I'm choosing to be genuine and real. The reality is I'm not probably very likely never going to be big, but I don't care about being big. I just care about actually the real thing. And my goal is just to potentially just have a stable cult fan base for the rest of my life, or while I'm here.
Yeah.
And just be able to form my fucking music and just express myself and do my thing in front of like 10 fucking fans. That'll do. And then us 10 fans we can be in. And also I want Creep to just make that space for me in the world, since I guess I'm someone that, in a way, I don't have a place in this world. Even that sounds emo, but I kind of don't.
I hear you.
So I'm like, fuck you, I'm gonna make my own fucking space. This is my space. You're getting myself like back the fuck up. This is my, like, if I'm gonna be on a stage performing, I'll be like, fuck you, this is my moment. I'm not gonna let anyone fucking stop it. Throw a fucking ball at my face. I'm not gonna fucking stop shit. And it's like that. It's like it's basically a stand for me trying to be the best I can be.
Yeah.
Me trying to do the most I can, and and that's what my music's that's basically
sweet.
What I'm aiming to do.
Yeah, I respect that. Awesome. I wanted to say quickly, I really like your videos on Instagram you've been doing. I caught a little bit of the live stream yesterday, but I was having connection issues, so I couldn't stay. Do you plan on doing more of that? I mean, and...
well, the thing is that I hate social media, and I've always found it cringy, and I think I always will, but at the same time, it's the only way a fan can... It's the closest a fan can have to hanging out with me if I'm doing a live stream.
Yeah.
Or getting to know me. or spoon feeding them the knowledge of my music and try and fucking spoon feed that why my music's good to people because they're too stupid to understand it. I'll be like, oh, this lyric is this because blah blah blah. And it's like that. So my Instagram is just basically promoting me and my music and shit.
But it's you are kind of producing like some different kinds of content, though, like your kind of comedic videos, like they're really funny. I mean,
because obviously a lot of people doing that too much. They're like, oh, on Instagram I have to have a picture like this and I have to do a tag like this and all that shit. But they're just making some boring ass shit. I'm not doing that. I'll just do what the fuck I want. I'll just do some, and obviously I'm meant to be real, so that's sort of Instagram. So I'll say whatever the fuck I want on the camera. I'm not going to rehearse it and be like, oh no, I need to say it like this. Particularly, and keep recording it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Take it when I start, I don't give a fuck. Someone's going to diss up my fucking, I got sweaty armpits one day when I'm douching or something. Alright, fucking, what, I don't give a fuck. That's sort of the point. And then the people that actually like that, then they might actually fuck with me, and then I can have a place in the world and create that creep cult, and we can all have that little creep cult. Where it's all right to be weirdo, it's all right to be a freak. Nothing wrong with it as long as you're not doing anything bad. Weirdos welcome, freaks welcome, everyone welcome. Blacks and whites and Mexicans and every race and gender and transgender welcome.
Hell yeah. Do you hope to continue to explore the subject of antinatalism in your music in the future?
Sure. Yeah, well, with music, because everyone can make songs about my girlfriend broke up with me for every song and album. I have the same kind of look on that as if I want to make a song about the same subject over and over, I'm gonna do it. If I want to say it in every song, I'm gonna say I will. I will make more songs about anti-natalism or throw little bits and bobs in here. I think I keep throwing bits and bobs in there. Like in Slit, I say a bar like, if I could, I would shoot a child in the face because all I see is the adult it will be one day. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like some very extreme versions of antinatalism, and I throw it in here and there.
Okay.
Since obviously antinatalism can technically connect with everything since its existence and life and so on, so it can be quite. I'll say an antinatalist bit here or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will. I don't know ever if I should call it Antinatalist 2 or just a different song title.
Okay.
But yeah, I will when I get around to it, and when I get around to it, since music needs to be a mixture of emotion and planning and all that shit.
Sure. All right. Well, I'll be looking forward to that. Yeah. So, where can people find your work, and do you have anything that you wish to plug?
Well, it's just the only way I do it is I guess the best way for someone to find my music is if you type "All I Am Creep," it'll usually come up with my most viewed song, and then just click my channel there and find it. That's usually what I tell people.
That was the first track, right? The one that got like 100,000 views. Yeah, it's a great one. Okay.
Yeah, I love it too. But the only reason people don't like it is because it's low production as fuck. But if it had that perfect production, then people be like, it probably would have fucking got a mil.
It fits though. I don't know. Like it's very appropriate. I
like it because it has the rawness to it. Because I'm genuinely slumming as fuck. So my shit genuinely raw. I'm not making it raw on purpose. I'm not making it low quality. Well, sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't. And I kind of like it because it gives that actual genuine, like, I'm slumming. This is some raw, unmixed hi-hat fucking piercing through or whatever. So I kind of like it. But obviously not everyone does. But yeah, that's the only way you can find my music without any links. And then the other ways that it's just you can get a hold of a link, like if you left the link or whatever. I try to leave links in my fucking shit. That's the only way you can kind of find shit like that now. To memorize a title, hope it comes up, even though sometimes that doesn't happen, or get a fucking link. Well, especially when you're fucking underground as fuck like me.
Yeah.
I think I'm literally like the most underrated underground thing like I fucking found and shit. But I'm bad at finding music and researching myself. I'm not saying I am the best but like out of everyone I fucking listen to, like there's always someone shitter than me that's doing better. That's why I'm like, I should get what I fucking deserve. I at least deserve a cult. When you're off on it, bit, gets fucking fame clap. Let's wait and see. But I'm gonna do it for the rest of my life either way. I'm gonna do it till I die.
Hell yeah.
It's just a case of we'll wait and see. I'm gonna do it for myself. I have my free fans, so I can fuck with my free fans, and I'll do it for my fucking myself and my mum and my free fans for now, and it's all chill.
Uh-huh.
And if if there's more, technically, that's more of my message and more of what I want to do and more positivity, hopefully. But if not, then fuck it, just bottom my 3 fans.
Yeah.
So that's my mentality on it at the minute.
All right, well, that's fantastic. Well, Creep, thank you so much for being here with me today on Exploring Antinatalism. I think you are incredibly talented. I really do. I think I really hope more people start paying attention to what you're doing and what you're making. It's great stuff, and I just really appreciate you.
Maybe one day these kids will grow up, but who knows until then.
We'll see. We'll see where the chips fall.
It's
but
like,
yeah, great.
Cool.
This was.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate this. This was fun.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you.
My dyspraxia, I'm not the best at sticking to my points and being a bit blabbery and
great.
rambly. But I still have a lot to fucking say, and I know I do, and that's why I say it. And that's why I'm not holding back, bitch.
No, never hold back. Don't hold back.
Hold back for these fucking bitches.
Please subscribe to Creep on YouTube, and also be sure to check out his SoundCloud and Instagram accounts, links below. Thank you for listening to the Exploring Antinatalism Podcast. Once again, this has been Old Fan. You can find me at Ferville Films on YouTube, as well as keep up with my daily antinatalist news updates at Antinatal News on Twitter. Please follow the podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and email us at exploringantinatalism@gmail.com. The podcast can be listened to on our YouTube channel, Exploring Antinatalism Podcast, as well as Buzzsprout and iTunes. We also have a new website, still under construction, www.exploringantinatalism.com. Podcast artwork donated by the incredible Life Sucks. All the best, and bye for now.